Hi there. When Marcus was working for the FAA as a Federal Air Marshal, he was given an annual allowance to take out a subscription to a gym to maintain fitness. And he already was a member of the Minnesota Kali group, so he just used the money for that subscription. So he could keep fit and also work on his skills. So I had already met Faye, who was the instructor at the MKG, when he came over to the UK. So that was another point of contact with Marcus when we first met. So he trained there quite regularly, and it was a really good group of people, led by Rick. There was Diane, there was Dave, there was Lisa, Rudy, and so on. And Marcus also used these people as models when he did some articles on self-protection for combat handguns and some other magazines. And it was a really good group, a lot of exchange of material and so on. And Rick brought in some real top instructors. He had Danny Inosanto there while I was over once, and we went along to pay our respects to him. Anyway, one of the things that Marcus was asked about when he was at the International in 2006 was the sealed Blitz. There was a lot of interest in it, and he presented a module on it. And we've made a video putting together what he taught, which will follow this. So enjoy that. And I also put a link to a discussion on the forum about it. We will be resuming the regular book reviews soon, but obviously I wanted to put these videos up, either featuring Marcus or commemorating Marcus, our great friend and one of the absolute leaders in the field of self-protection.
You're not going to stand here all day, especially for you guys. It's an entry. However, as an entry, there's payoff every step of the way. An eye jab can create enough distance from the self-protection perspective, especially from someone who's not physically strong or does not have the training experience. Bam, it creates an opportunity to disengage and get away. And what you're doing is you're closing the gap in entry. In the classic presentation that Vunak does, the entry is to go in and you acquire an eye socket, and then you apply the elbow to the jawline, okay? And you just keep the hammer until it goes down. The way we modified it, that's like what I like what these guys did so much, was we had found after the hands-on time, the easiest way to get somebody out of your way in a hurry is grab their head and yank them down. In addition to with this, was going into what we called at that time the neck twist takedown, which is like a chin jab to unlock the neck, and then you twist the head, and you either take them into a choke if you want to control them, you take them back and use it for a neck break, or you can drop them down. The advantage of this in an aircraft style, you got seats that are about this high that are hard, is if you do take them, you can break his back across the seat. You can power his head as you take him back into a seat top. At that, shatter the neck, and you solve the problem and move on.
Okay, just a few points to add to what Marcus described in his presentation about the eye strike, and primarily we're going to talk about the angle of the strike. Now, the target we're looking at, the eyes, this band here, is quite a small target, and in combatives, in self-protection, we don't want precise targeting if we can avoid it, so we want to make it an easy target rather than a hard target. If you strike with a direct blow on that target line, it does a few things that you don't want. Firstly, it gives your opponent a lot of time to see the strike and to react to it. Now, if I do a conventional strike on this line, you can see, even at speed, you've got a long time to see it. If I do the rising strike, it just comes from nowhere. And that's what we want. We want that strike appearing from nowhere. Okay? Because if he moves because he sees the strike, I'm going to either overextend or he's going to cover up and I'm going to hit solid bone. This glasses place of bone here, or even his cheekbones, which is not going to hurt him. So we need to avoid that. And our vision is like a wide-angle lens on a camera. It's narrow and wide, and we don't really see stuff coming from high or low very, very easily. And the rising strike comes out of the lower peripheral vision and becomes a surprise. So that's what we're trying to build on. So that's the first thing. The angle of the strike, it comes up, so he gets less time to react to it, and it becomes an easier target for us to hit. The second thing is to again avoid precise targeting and go for generic targeting. So rather than going just to the eyes, we're going to hit more or less the generic targets at the face, because the strike will contour and follow the lines of the face quite easily. We'll do it on this target. So rather than trying to go in precisely here, we just go in like this, and it will just glide into the eyes all the time. You might get all your fingers in, or you might get just one finger in. So it comes up, and it just explodes into the eyes, and it's a surprise. And that's the other thing. Don't expect a strike to the eyes to be a fight finishing technique necessarily. You can take a lot of punishment to the eyes. But the best way to strike to the eyes is a sudden surprise, and it produces an instinctive reaction. And we can at least exploit that. So you want speed, you want it to come as a surprise from nowhere, and you might get him to turn his head, you might buy time, you might buy distance, allow you to escape or to follow up with a more major blow, and that's really the best you can do.